welcome back to another video, and in this one we'll be reviewing my team from round 4. At a glance, it's not the worst that I've done so far in each round, however it is up there. Bad captain pick, a fair few picks under 10 points as well, which really isn't very good. However, still some really high scoring individuals, but I feel like this round a lot of people have pipped me and gone above me in the leaderboard. As always, if you do like the video, then please subscribe to the channel and also turn notifications on to not miss a video. We're so close to 3,000 subscribers. I'm confident that we'll get there before the end of the World Cup, but can you be that 3,000th subscriber? So in the first game, which seemed so long ago now, Uruguay beat Namibia 36-26. And to be honest, I wasn't too disappointed with these players because I had, well, essentially 13 players to play. Ardao, 12 points, really didn't perform to how he performed in the previous rounds, probably because they had more of the ball and didn't, I guess, have to do as much defending and turnovers. Echeverri, I was very happy with on that Wednesday night. 2 assists, but then brought off in around the 60-minute mark. A little bit disappointing there, but 37 I was happy with. 12, obviously not so much for Ardao. And the next one was Japan and Samoa, 28-22 to Japan. I didn't have any players in this one. I think probably quite rightly, it was quite a cagey game, maybe picking some second rows and even a back row in this game, like Michael Leach, would have really worked, probably instead of Ardao. So definitely the performance of the round went to New Zealand. 96-17 against Italy. Absolutely astonishing, to be honest. How can you score almost 100 points against what is basically a tier 1 nation in Italy? So I did actually pick pretty decent picks in this one. Cody Taylor scored me 47 points. That was, I think, also without a try. I do believe he got an assist though. Rico Ioane was also pretty quiet the whole game, however scored over 50 points. And then Mark Talea, 75 points, also really, really decent. So overall, I'm happy with my New Zealand picks. There were obviously some better picks out there, maybe picking a Will Jordan as well. Ardi Savea, who also scored over 90 points. So I did miss out, however, look, I did pick up some good points here. Now the next game, Argentina Chile, I didn't have any Argentinians in my original team selection. However, in my updated video, I did switch Issa and Kramer in. Really, really happy with Issa, 67 points. I think he got the same as Gonzalez, who scored a try or two. But then Kramer in the second row, obviously on the back row, only 9 points, especially when they've scored 59 points. Just was pretty disappointing, really. I think maybe the pick to go for here was Nicolas Sanchez. Echeverri did pretty decent, but Sanchez scored over 50 points. Much like the Japan and Samoa game, I didn't have anyone in this Fiji Georgia game. Probably because, yeah, maybe I thought it would be quite tight, but not as tight as the Japan-Samoa game. But it turned out that these two teams were pretty evenly matched. So 17-12, really not much in it at all. Fiji will have something to prove in the next round, and they also need a win to get through to the quarterfinals. And of course, the Scotland game. So 84-0, pretty rotated Scotland team as well. I only picked 2 Scottish, and that was my downfall this round essentially. I also had Darcy Graham in, which was great, almost 200 points, but I didn't captain him. I did have him in as captain in my original team selection, but then changed him. Former Pimpy, which we'll see later, was not the best pick. Happy with Ferguson as well though. He was a late pick drafted in, 54 points, also scored a try. But yeah, that Darcy Graham pick has probably done me well, but also got me down on the leaderboards pretty much because a lot of you seem to have captained him. Australia-Portugal game was actually a really good game if anyone watched. So I believe the score was 34-14 to Portugal. In this one, I had Angus Ball and Martins. Both scored almost 50 points. So, to be honest, I'm absolutely ecstatic with those two performances. Probably the game of the round for me in terms of average points scored. So, definitely can't complain. And then, yeah, probably the worst game of the round for me and my fantasy team was definitely South Africa versus Tonga. So looking at it, 49-18 to South Africa, you would have thought, actually, that's a pretty decent score. Well, no, not for my players. So Vincent Koch got 12 points. Grant Williams on the wing, 9 points. And Mapimpi, we all know, had to come off. I think he's actually fractured his cheekbone now. Only scored 4 points, which meant, as a captain, only got me 8. In truth, I had to turn this game off because I was getting too infuriated looking at all my picks that I had previously, like Dion Fourie, who I think got man of the match in the end. Just really disappointing, but I do think some of you also took the hit with me. Again, these things happen, right, in fantasy. We can't predict that Mapimpi's going to go off within 20-30 minutes. It's just one of those things. But fortunately, we've got next week to rectify it. So that was my team for round 4 of the Rugby World Cup. Not great, but still not so bad. Just under 700 points for the round. I imagine lots of you probably got to the 1,000 mark just because of Darcy Graham, people like Ben Healy as well. I just picked slightly wrong picks this time. I am going to think about not updating my team, even though we obviously get team sheets late, but my tinkering hasn't seemed to work, and I do say this every time. Stick with your guns from the outset. So, if you did like the video, drop it a like. Let me know how you guys did down in the comments below. If you didn't do great, then fortunately we've got next week and the week after and all of the knockouts, right? So, hope you liked the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.